Hi guys, welcome to the unboxing and full review of this Wolfang action camera. The model is GA420 and as of end of 2022, that's their top of the line, their best action camera. So I'm very excited. Of course, it comes pretty much with all the features which we have seen also with their other cameras. And so let's open the box and see what we get. We get also this quick starter guide which explains everything what we get, all the accessories, how to use. Of course, everything is standard GoPro mount. Then also a user manual like always, but I have already tested a couple of these cameras and they were so self-explaining that I don't expect any problems. I think we don't have to use the instructions manual too much. I have even to admit that I have never read the full instructions manual. The only thing which could need some instructions is the Wi-Fi, which I've never used, but it comes with the Wi-Fi included, so you can download the free app and transfer all the footage to your smartphone. So here are the accessories. Comes with a full load of accessories. You can see a lot of mounts. This time it comes again with the remote control, comes with the charger and data transfer cable, which is micro USB. Then we get also this external microphone again, which we didn't have with the GA400. It comes with two batteries but no external charger, so we have to charge it inside the camera. But I would say we get everything. We get this bike mount, then we get this helmet holder, yeah, pretty much everything what we need. Also some nice straps, everything in a very small nice box, and the camera looks pretty much same or very similar as the 400. The big difference here is that we have this front screen as well, and it's also super easy to open. I love this concept that we don't have an additional lock because it's actually not needed. By the way, this is the housing for the 40 meters waterproofness. But this housing alone without any extras is already 10 meters waterproof. So unless you're doing scuba diving, you don't need the waterproof housing. It's really good. And the huge advantage of this style, which is waterproof, is of course that we have this microphone. We can use the microphone. With the housing, it's not possible. You won't hear anything. So you can even record the voices or the natural sounds when you're in a pool or on a boat. Then we remove all the plastic cover. I would say it has very similar build to the GA400, and I really love this thing. It is super stylish, it's modern, it's much smaller and lighter than the latest GoPro cameras. The only thing is that it's a little bit wobbling around, doesn't have a safe stand without the tripod mount, but we have the tripod mount standard 1/4 inch here. What I also like are the openings here. They are hard to open but not too hard to open, exactly how it should be. The old GoPro cameras like the 5, 6, 7, 8 had a very easy to open flap here, and that was then prone to water leaks. That's not going to happen here. Of course, microSD card is not included. It's important to buy really good quality microSD card, because if you buy non-branded, then they are usually too slow for 4K and 60 frames. So we just push it down here inside. Then we align the battery. Yeah, it has a really nice fit, everything here. By the way, this flap here on the side is a little bit more difficult to open, but we have this gap here, so we can go down into that with our fingernail and then push it here inside and then pull it down. And so then we have micro USB to charge and for data transfer, and the HDMI if you need, but there's no HDMI cable here. Here on the side we have the speaker, and here on top is the microphone, and that's the only microphone. I think it's a good position, so usually when we hold this camera like that, it's not prone to cover the microphone, and we can record from the front and from the back evenly. So I think this is a good position here, and the microphone is really good. I'm going to play a sample for you later on. And so we turn it on here with a long press from the side. It has only 3 buttons, but we can control everything. So we select the language and set date and time. So what's highly recommended is of course to format the microSD card. And then I would highly recommend to set the video resolution which you want. and the electronic stabilization to on. So we have now confirmation that we are on 4K 60 frames and we have the stabilization turned on. For some of the cameras you have to reduce the resolution or turn off the stabilization. Here we have both, but my preferred resolution is 1080p with 60 frames, and you can see we can start recording. Has some really nice stabilization, but I'm going outside and then shoot a couple of videos and then show you everything in detail. I've been testing this camera now for a day and it has been working absolutely awesome. So I'm going to show you a lot of footage and some of the settings and functions. And yeah, we start with the buttons. We have 3 buttons here, and when we long press here we can turn it on or turn it off. All the 3 buttons have 2 functions, one for the short press and one for the long press. When we short press here we can turn on the Wi-Fi, then we get an SSID and password. And of course with short press we can turn it off again. Then we have the long press here on top, which activates the special functions which we have for the video here, like loop recording, time lapse, slow motion, fast motion, and again the Wi-Fi. And I have been doing the time lapse. Of course, time lapse is just like a fast video and not stabilized, but we have also the fast motion, which is same or very similar to the time lapse, but it is stabilized and it worked really good. GoPro calls this time warp, and it worked in a very similar way, I would say, on a really good level, maybe even better than on the GA400. By the way, this is also the only function where I had the impression that I've seen improvement compared to the GA400. Other than that, there is pretty much no difference except from the screen which we have here and except from the accessories where we get this microphone. I'm going to show you that later. And then we have also the slow motion, which I've been doing. You can see, yeah, it's not one of the big strengths of this camera. But of course, I've also been recording a normal video while walking around, and it made a really good impression, a really nice colors, very sharp, everything really good, stable, great stabilization, really close to GoPro level, I would say, really nice, but again, same or pretty much same as the GA400. And of course, it also works as a shutter release button to start video recording or photo recording, and to switch to photos we can push short here on the M, on the mode button here. You can see when we push here short, it goes into the photo shooting where we can shoot photos, and when we push again, it goes into playback and then into video setup and photo setup, and then back to video recording. By the way, of course, we have also these special functions here in the photo mode. We have the burst photo, we have time lapse, we have self timer, long exposure, these things. And when we long press here on the mode button, then it switches to the front screen. You can see my hand here easily, really nice. But there's no option to see both of the screens at the same time. But at least we have the front screen. That's a huge advantage, of course, if you do some vlogging or so. And I've been shooting also a small video about that when I was moving around and recording myself. It's really nice to have these things, so even when you're in the front of the camera you get an idea where you're pointing at. Of course, we have also the normal settings with the video resolution up to 4K 60 frames per second and a lot of options, and you can also see that the screen or the touch screen is working really nice. I love this thing, so it's very easy to adjust all the settings. And then here we have the general settings, also with a lot of possibilities, a lot of things to change. And same thing here in the photo mode with a lot of things which you can adapt. And then I've been using the microphone. The microphone sits here on top and is really good. I mean, I would say for a waterproof housing, we cannot complain. Of course, it's a little bit muffled, but it's still on a very natural level. The main thing is that it has just a little bit lower sensitivity, and I've tested it and it worked really good. Microphone test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then of course I've also tested the external microphone, which comes in the normal micro USB port here. And this has been working, of course, even better. But of course you have to be careful, it's not waterproof again. But it's really one of the best external microphones for action cameras which I've ever tested. Wolfang GA420 microphone test with the external microphone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we have the speaker on the side. Of course it's also not very loud, but at least we have it. Of course it's also important to know the viewing angle. I've tested this in the corner of our home, and I would say with the electronic stabilization it's a little bit below 90 degrees. When we turn off the electronic stabilization, then we get around 90 degrees field of view from this lens here. And as a final test, I've been comparing the video quality in 1080p 60 frames per second to the GA400, and I couldn't find a difference. When you look at the colors, when you look at the sharpness and stabilization and everything, it is really super hard to find any difference. I don't know if they have changed anything. I think the hardware is pretty much the same, probably also the lens and sensor and everything, except from the additional screen here. So it doesn't surprise that the footage at the very end is pretty much the same. But I would say it's still a really nice upgrade. I love it, especially this front screen helps a lot, and the microphone can help definitely as well, especially for vlogging. So with these two additional things, it's, I would say, definitely a absolutely complete set. So from my side, full recommendation. And so if you're interested, I'll put down the link to the Amazon listing down into the description, so you can check it out and order it right from there if you like it. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.